Tropical storm Marco has collapsed and now has set the stage for Tropical Storm Laura to hit the U.S. mainland as a hurricane. Tropical Storm Marco began falling apart on Monday, easing one threat to the Gulf Coast, but setting the stage for the arrival of the tumultuous Tropical Storm Laura as a potentially supercharged Category 3 hurricane with winds topping 110 miles per hour. Twin storm combination may bring a history-making onslaught of winds and coastal flooding from Texas to Alabama. Currently still a tropical storm, however, Laura churned just south of Cuba after taking the life of at least 11 people in the Dominican Republic and in Haiti. It knocked out power and caused flooding in these two nations that share the island of Hispaniola. Fortunately, Laura took the life of a 10-year-old girl whose house was hit by a tree, and also the life of a mother and her son after all collapsed. Tropical Storm Laura was not expected to weaken over land before moving into warm, deep Gulf waters. Forecasters had suggested that it would rapidly intensify as it passed over these warm waters in the Gulf. Trawlers and fishing boats were tied up in Louisiana's harbor ahead of the storms. Red flags warned swimmers to keep away from the pounding surf. Classes and virtual school sessions that have been required because of the pandemic were cancelled in many districts in Louisiana. Marco continued to collapse on Monday. The Hurricane Center cancelled all tropical storm watches and warnings. Marco's winds died down to 40 miles per hour as it sloshed 40 miles southeast of the mouth of the Mississippi River. Midday, an airplane monitoring the system could only find a small area of wind strong enough to keep Marco as a tropical storm, and those winds were not near the ragged center. While Marco weakened, Laura's potential got stronger, and forecasters raised the possibility of a major hurricane that would pummel western Louisiana and eastern Texas from Wednesday into Thursday. Once Laura passes Cuba, the system could quickly strengthen over warm water in the Gulf, which would act as a fuel to supercharge the storm. Forecasters have predicted winds of 105 miles per hour before Laura may make landfall, but some models also show an even stronger storm. Laura is expected to become a hurricane later today in the Gulf of Mexico. Conditions in the Gulf of Mexico should allow Laura to strengthen significantly. Laura is predicted to become a major hurricane prior to landfall on the upper Texas or southwest Louisiana coast. Destructive storm surges and the damaging winds will affect areas near where Laura will make landfall. Tropical Storm Laura is also an inland flood risk as far north as Arkansas or southern Missouri. Isolated tornadoes are also expected from Tropical Storm Laura. Laura will soon intensify over the Gulf of Mexico, and the forecast is that it will become a major hurricane prior to making landfall on the upper Texas or southwest Louisiana coast. A dangerous threat of storm surge and destructive winds will hit the coast, and a threat of flooding rain and strong winds will extend well inland. Residents along the upper Texas and southwest Louisiana coast should prepare now for a hurricane to hit. They should follow this with evacuations, which will be issued as orders by the local or the state officials. Laura has prompted hurricane and storm surge watches for the Gulf Coast. Hurricane warnings would be issued for parts of these areas later into today. A hurricane watch has been posted for San Luis Pass in Texas to west of Morgan City in Louisiana. This means that tropical storm conditions, which includes winds of 40 miles per hour or greater, are possible in these areas by Wednesday afternoon, and hurricane conditions, which include winds greater than 74 miles per hour, are possible by late Wednesday. Storm surge watch has been issued for San Luis Pass in Texas to Ocean Springs in Mississippi. This watch meaning life-threatening inundation of water moving ashore over land is possible within the area in 48 hours or less. The watch includes Galveston Bay, Lake Pontchartrain, Lake Maurepas, and Lake Borgne for areas outside of the Southeast Louisiana hurricane and storm damage risk reduction system. LAURA is centered more than 600 miles southeast of Lake Charles in Louisiana. It's tracking to the west to northwest at just over 15 miles per hour. Satellite imagery shows that the storm is becoming increasingly organized as it moves into a favorable environment for strengthening in the Gulf of Mexico. The National Hurricane Center forecast shows that LAURA will continue to track west-northwest through early Wednesday before turning more to the northwest. It is also possible for LAURA to undergo a period of rapid intensification. This means it could have a wind speed increase of at least 35 miles per hour in 24 hours. LAURA is predicted to become a major Category 3 hurricane or stronger before it makes landfall somewhere along the southwest Louisiana or upper Texas coast. Wednesday night or early Thursday morning, conditions are expected to deteriorate in these areas by Wednesday. There may still be subtle yet important changes to the track and intensity forecast over the next day or so. Will bring strong storm surges, rainfall, and wind that will impact Texas and Louisiana. Packs will extend far from the center, eventually as it moves inland. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about this rapid transformation that tropical storm LAURA may undergo as the days progress and Marco has dissipated. Thanks for watching.